Shadow left a message. We could read Shadow's message. For context, Shadow is from inside Iran, and he tried to speak, but his internet is not that good, so that's why his audio was cutting in and out. So Sketch suggested that he writes his message, so we could read it out for him.
Right, so let me read it now. Shadow says, first of all, I wanted to say thanks. Last time I talked, lots of kind messages have been sent in the live chat that were so much for me, and I wish every other people of Iran could see them. Thanks a lot. 1 second. Second of all, I wanted to say what I'm experiencing recently. Many people of Iran are not optimistic for the negotiation, and they think it will break soon. Many people are getting ready for the next phase of the revolution, and this time against Ghalibaf.
Read that last part again. Many people are waiting for what?
Getting ready for the next phase of the revolution, and this time against Ghalibaf.
Ooh, okay. That's that's a pretty good message. So one thing I noticed today on my Persian live stream is that Iranian people, like at least the ones in my audience, were slowly moving away from being upset regarding the MOU and getting back into fighting mode and getting back like, okay, whatever is happening, we don't know. We're ready to fight again. So they're getting ready for the next rounds of, fighting whatever the necessary fights are against the regime. It's it makes sense that sometimes people complain, but then we come back to the conclusion that it is what it is, and we cannot control what's happening, and the only way is to keep fighting against Islamic Republic. So it's interesting because we go through this up and down after many uprisings, right? So we like over the years, like 1396, 1398, these are based on the Persian calendar. I don't know how you could what's the Gregorian version of it. So basically 9 years ago, and then 7 years ago, and then 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, three. So all the uprisings that we had in the Iran, it starts with a lot of hope, and then after that, disappointment that this round didn't work, and then a period of disappointment, and then back to fighting mode. So there's a period in the middle that people get disappointed that the regime survived this, but then recognize that we already had a lot of gains, and this round of uprising was stronger than the last round of uprising, and if we keep going, we will win. So we're basically now moving, I think, to the post disappointment period, and now we're moving to the getting back to the fighting mode period. Did Shadow have any follow-ups, or that was it?
I think actually my side chat is broken because I haven't seen any messages in the last 6 minutes, so I'll have to read.
So I will tell you, because it's broken, that Wyatt and Jeffrey wanted to follow up on this. So Wyatt, you go first, and then Jeffrey, and then Danny could tell us if his chat is fixed after.
Yeah.
Go on, Wyatt.
Well,
hey Shadow,
new
how you doing?
Fixed, but I missed all the twos so far, so I'm going to go off of you. You said Wyatt and then Jeffrey?
Yes. Go on, Wyatt.
I was wondering if Shadow, if the Iranian people, if it would be useful if I gave Armin books on how to liberate themselves, to let's talk between lines, how to do stuff to destroy your oppressors, and you can make stuff with stuff around the house and how to make all kinds of stuff, cool stuff out of pee. I mean, it's even bleach and pneumonia, and the stuff works because the American right and the American left have been using these books since the 60s, and they work. So I was just wondering if that'd be helpful for you guys.
So Wyatt, I'm not saying Shadow saying anything, but while we wait for his response, I do want to mention that I think that those might be too old school. I'll let Jeffrey and Sketch respond to this. I think we need to as Jeffrey mentions, I think we need to be focusing on drones a lot more right now. I think, um, I think it's actually with modern technology, it's easier to give the Iranian people a fighting chance with some. I don't. Well, you know what? I'll shut up. I'll just let Jeffrey and Sketch respond to that because they know what they're talking about. But my
Uh,
assumption is that probably those are too old school, and we need more modern technology, which could easily be given to the Iranian people. I mean, they already have drones in Iran, and they could just turn them into, killing machines very easily. Yeah.
Shadow is still typing in the side chat. He says, Armin can confirm it. In our cultures, when a person gives you a dish of food, we will back the dish full of different food as a reply. How could we forget what you did? And the last
No.
point, I've recently heard some Americans are going to think Iranians are ungrateful and are treating bad with American people. Come on, my friends, we are Iranian. How could we forget all the kindness and sacrifice which Americans and Israeli soldiers did for us?
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. And he has two more messages, I think, after that.
Yeah. This is if some Iranians are angry, just please understand them. We were alone for many years. We tried many years to warn people of the world another Hitler was born in Iran. The Islamic Republic is so depending to Hitler's perspective. I think he means it's similar to Nazi Germany. Um, and the Okay, he's still typing. They even tried to motivate Mustafa with the picture of Hitler. Those Iranians who are angry, I think they are just panicking. They think that we will again be alone. But let me tell you, as a person inside Iran, on the other hand, many Iranian people still love the USA. There are many Iranians who waited to first finish the Islamic Republic and then make up for those who stand behind us. Make it up to those who stand behind us. All right. And guys, I've seen Noah's side chat is also broken. So if you're not seeing any new messages in the last few minutes, then you have to rejoin and your side chat will start working again. Okay, Jeffrey is next to respond.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so to bounce off of Wyatt's points, there is, regardless of what the Mullah regime remnants is trying to portray to you via the filter net, read the communications network system built for the Mullah regime, now regime remnants inside Iran vis-a-vis the Chinese Communist Party, and who is enabled by the Chinese Communist Party to kind of like further filter your access to the news outside of Iran. The pivots at the national scale does not mean that somehow the free peoples of the world have abandoned Iranian resistance. What Wyatt's talking about very much represents track two material support efforts. That's at the sub-state and transnational level, along with our allies that are actively pursuing lines of efforts to assist Iranian resistance inside Iran, to eliminate the regime remnants and realizing the liberation of Iran. So exemplary of that very much is Ukrainian Defense Forces. As you know, His Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi visited Ukraine and Odessa recently. They have bumped up their production of FP5 long-range strike munitions, read Flamingos, and any number of other things. And there's a reason that's significant for those Iranian resistance inside Iran. While I can't tell you exactly the timetable for any number of reasons, I can tell you that regardless of how the Mullah regime remnants attempts to portray current pivots at the national level, the sacrifices borne by Iranian resistance and people in January has shown the entire world that there is no connection between Iranian people and the Mullah regime that's illegally occupied Iran since '79. The free peoples of the world are with you. And while the journey is long and the road tragically hard, you will never have to walk that road alone again. GWAT vets love you, man. You know, Mullah regime killed our friends too. Ukrainian defense forces, they love you because the Mullah regime killed their family when they gave Putin Shahed 136s and ballistic missiles to hammer Kyiv. So fear not. Those efforts are in play. That doesn't mean the time to act is now. You should keep yourself safe, conserve your revolutionary and fighting strength. Just know that nobody outside of Iran has forgotten you, including this administration, by the way. Promise. Javi Shah.
Javid Shah. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for those words of reassurance. Sketch is next.
Yes, Shadow. I think it's the first time I've been able to talk to you. I'm going to say some things I've said before. And of course, Jeffrey will and Armin will, because, hey, it's everybody's first show one day, right? Like, we don't know who's new here. Maybe you haven't heard this before. Some of you have heard this before. We are trying to calculate an incalculable loss. Among those 45,000 to 70,000 people that were killed during the protest, we don't know how many geniuses, how many Einsteins, how many Elons, how many great breakthroughs in medicine could have come from that. So we don't want that to happen again. We want this done with the minimum loss of life possible. So we understand we can't control if an uprising happens. We have no control over that. But we would not want one to be unprepared and to have such catastrophic loss of life. Like, for every 1,000 people, how many of those? I mean, Iran is known for having one of the highest IQs in the Middle East. I mean, we're talking very intelligent people and with very good hearts. There's so much great entrepreneurs that might have been lost there. There's so many great medicine, people in the medical field. There's so many people in STEM, the technology. We don't know the loss. It's incalculable. Even if those peoples weren't going to be the great innovators, their children might have been, or their grandchildren. So we're talking about generations upon generations of loss. And I understand that the cause is good, but you don't want your life wasted. Like, when I served as an infantry grease monkey. That's what's behind my avatar. We call mechanics grease monkey. It's all I did. But we're all willing to give our life. All right. We are willingly giving our life. Like, thousands of Americans have willingly in combat lost their life to the IRGC and its proxies, right? So this is not something we're not going to forget. When Jeff says you'll never be alone, it's because what we remember, like, we literally have, like, our blood in the sand too. What we don't want is for someone has their mic open.
Yeah, Noah had his mic open. I muted him. Be careful.
Okay.
Noah. But go on.
So that's why we're not going to be able to control you, but don't let despair kill reason. We don't want that incalculable loss. Remember, this is war. All of this could be kabuki theater. All of this, we don't know. We could just need 60 days of an MOU ceasefire. This is basically an MOU ceasefire. This is not a permanent peace treaty by any means. This document is not a peace treaty. It's a conditional ceasefire. That's basically what we're talking about. It's a conditional ceasefire over 60 days. Those same 60 days, that is sandstorm season. Trump said he wasn't going to do anything during sandstorm season. Shadow, we've discussed this before. I'm going to say it to Shadow because he might have not heard it before. We have to resupply. We have to resupply because we pulled from everywhere on earth to help Iran, to target the IRGC from everywhere. Taiwan was angry. There's a lot of people that were angry because we were taking weapons that we had loaned. Sometimes hey, you want to borrow this, borrow it. And we're like, okay, I need it back. And we started taking back everything that we had loaned, everything that everyone had borrowed, and we brought it in to help Iran, to help against the IRGC, right? That has to be resupplied, and not just resupplied to a level where we don't need to pull from it again, right? And you know what we started doing? We're saying, you know what, you want more? We're going to sell it. We're not just going to, it's yours. You keep it. We sell it. That way we don't have that problem again because you have the receipt. It's yours. We're not going to take it away, right? So that's what's going on in the Indo-Pacific. That's what's going on with NATO. So just so you understand, we're pulling from everywhere on earth to make sure we give a fighting chance to the Iranians against the IRGC. But you got to understand, like, to us, we value the individual a lot. We value the individual to be an incalculable a number because we don't know the generations that might come from one, what they might do, or what that one person might do. We do know of Einstein. We know of Elon in the entrepreneur sector. We know of great political leaders. So we don't want you to die in vain. That's the whole point of this. That's why I'm talking about this. The swing voters are the ones that don't care. That's why I called them animals. They're not animals. We don't want them hurt. We don't want anybody to. This is not about dehumanizing. It's a joke. We say it as a joke, but we do know that some people, as humans will be petty. They will be unthinking. And I don't want you to think that the people here or the people that actually go through this stuff, they're very busy Americans. That you might like, oh, you ruined my daughter's ballet day for me because you're arguing with me online, and I'm going to take that to the ballot box. We're talking about those type of people exist. You ruined my son's baseball game for me, and I'm angry, so I'm going to. So those types of people, they might not see your efforts, but everyone who is being thoughtful thinks about this. It has the Israelis in our mind, in our hearts. It has the Iranians in our minds, in our hearts. And that is the majority. But because the sides are so divided, those few thoughtless people make a big difference. And we don't want them to have bad thoughts about you. That's why we're desperately ringing the alarm bell, saying, hey, let's have a cry for unity.
Thank you, Sketch. That was awesome. Okay, one last reply from Samantha, and we're going to go through super chats. Is there?
Yeah, I know Sketch kept talking about like we don't want people to die. We don't know, they could have been like entrepreneurs or Einstein or scientists or great thinkers and great things. Can you guys just confirm, even the people who, let's say, no skill, no talent, and are going to have kids who have skills or talent and basically are not going to add to capital productivity. We don't want them to die. Can we just confirm that?
Yeah, the people who are not productive, we don't want them to die. You want me to confirm that?
Of course, obvious.
So the point
they can have children. Just being there is productive. Like, this measure of productivity is the only people that see resources and money as the only means of productivity are usually leftists and communists who think the measure of a man is only labor and money. There's art, there's there's music, there's culinary. There's so many measures within artistry that are incalculable. Of course, we don't measure productivity by something as lowly as just how many hours you put in your labor. It goes way beyond that.
So even if you measure whatever measurement your productivity that you have, even if it's art and whatever, people with zero productivity, even based on that measure, the goal is to make everybody well off. So Samantha, the way I look at it, the way I think the point is the productivity is not the goal. Productivity is the tool. Okay, so the goal is maximum well-being for the highest amount of people. The goal is to reduce misery and pain for everybody, regardless of their level of productivity. We want higher productivity to be able to use that higher productivity to bring the highest amount of people, regardless of their level of productivity, out of misery. Okay, so we need more productive people so that we have more wealth and we have more prosperity to be able to bring everybody, including non-productive people, out of misery.
Cat Lady wants to nicely respond to this, and then super chats.
Kat Miowski.
Okay, she wants to meanly respond to this. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Sorry, it's a new phone, so I didn't allow the browser to.
It's okay.
I said that I think after, even though I did write a 2, I think I'll skip because I'm way too angry. Seriously, about what Samantha just said. It's oof.
She's
Like,
asking.
I wrote it in the chat.
She's asking a question. I think it's fine to ask.
No, but why am I angry? Because people are dying, and this woman, not girl, woman, finds it a right time to talk about her agenda. I cannot even explain how angry this makes me.
I think
Disrespectful.
Jeffrey can explain how angry it makes you.
I think what Kat is saying is that she's understandably pissed off because it very much came off like an attempt at adulterating what Sketch, like outlining what Sketch meant, which is he's showing in a very quantitative way why it is that Western civilization is defined by the jealous celebration of the value of the individual, and that the underlying context of that message to Shadow, who ostensibly is in Iran, Mullah occupied Iran, is do not allow the Mullah regime remnants to mislead you in the hopes of causing despair and then having that despair manifest itself in a way that you would either act recklessly or almost like suicide by protest. That everybody outside of Iran all the free people outside of Iran is very much in support of Iranian people and resistance, and you are not and never will be alone. And so having that emotional message co-opted and adulterated to serve as a backdrop for like neo-Marxist bullshit pisses people off. And that's why Kat is angry. I actually share that anger. I can understand where she's coming from. Hopefully, I was able to illustrate it in a manner that was fair to you, Kat. I did my best.
Okay. I put it to the chat. I think that is very unfair to Samantha because I saw when Sketch was explaining, Samantha was putting hearts for Sketch's explanation. And I think what people don't understand here is that she wants, like, when she hears productivity, she had in her cult, she was made to believe that capitalists like us, we value human lives only when they produce, right? So when she hears us talking about people dying and the loss of productivity that comes out of that, she has this, nightmarish, reminder from her cult that, oh no, are these are evil people. So she's asking, she was not telling us anything, she was asking, can you guys like tell me that this is not how you measure people's worth, that you do care about that are not unproductive. She didn't even say that you do, like, she even the way even she asked it was pretty obviously in a way that suggested that she knows that we don't measure people like that, and she wanted us to confirm that that's the case. And she accepted it immediately when both me and Sketch said that. When Sketch said, of course people are worthy without, even if they're not productive, she kept on giving us hearts. And when I said, the whole point of productivity is to serve people regardless of how productive they are, and we want to bring everybody out of misery, she was constantly giving us hearts emojis. So it shows that she was having a negative gut reactions towards hearing about productivity, because given the culture she was in, when she hears productivity, she thinks that we're being evil, and she was asking us to clarify, and we did, and she accepted our clarification. And I think that's actually showing a tremendous amount of growth from her part, because she has shown that many things that we have said here to her has changed her opinions. She sometimes says things that I don't agree with, and I get frustrated with some of the things that she says. But she is also have shown a tremendous amount of willingness to listen and change her opinions on things, which I appreciate.
Right. I don't really want to get into an in-depth discussion about Samantha in particular. So Jeffrey's making the move on emojis or hand signals. Let's go on to super chats.
Okay, super chats. We got 6 super chats. We have thank you so much, guys, for the super chats. Sherry with a super chat saying Europeans are loving America. Love it. I noticed that so many Europeans are like, holy shit, this is a great country. Like because of FIFA, so many Europeans are United States, and they are I saw Japanese people were loving America. I saw a post by a Japanese person, and there was a restaurant, like they're coming for watching soccer or football. And they brought so much chips and sauce at the beginning. I was like, I didn't order this. And they said, like, no, this is not, this is free. And the Japanese person, but I do not deserve this. Why are you giving all this? And he was like, he was posting on social media, this country, these people are so generous. Why are they? And many people are posting the size of things and they're enjoying it. And it's really interesting. People are going to so many very American restaurants and very like a lot of things that you see in movies and TV series, and they're going and taking picture of it. And it's interesting because so many times you hear Americans being famous for being, I don't know, not friendly, but now many people who are coming from Europe and Japan and other places from the world to United States, that you constantly see them posting. It's actually becoming a big thing on social media. I don't know if you guys seen it. They're loving United States, and they're very impressed with Americans, and they're finding them to be very generous and kind. And this FIFA thing is doing like a lot of work for the image of America worldwide, because many people are like on social media posting about how great Americans are and how kindly they're being treated, which is really good. I'm really happy to see that. And thank you, Sherry, for reminding us about that. And then we have, oh, let me remove this. Okay. And then we have Amir with a super chat saying, "Hopium? Question mark. I don't need any. I take a dose of Jeff." Jeff, yes, fantastic. That's good. Okay.
I absolutely love you, Cricket.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Love it. I have for the super chat. Thank you so much, I have, saying fighting the regime would be much harder in a global market crash. Oil markets had to calm. Trump is using the Chinese method. Get the Arabs in and use their own institutions and corporations to beat the IRGC. You know, I see how that could be the case, and I give it to you. If that is the plan, you know, I see what you're seeing. Okay, I'm not sure if what you're saying is what's happening, but if that's what's happening, this is truly a 5D chess move, and it's pretty good. If it moves in that direction that you're saying, it's genius, and I love it. But if it's actually that's what's happening, and thank you for the super chat. Jahangir, which is Ramin's, just gave us a super chat just to test the super chat, and it worked. And then he gave us another super chat saying, "Microphone destroyed my ears, though." Yes, Kat, your microphone destroyed all of our ears. Your volume is way up. Maybe like if you're speaking, like put the microphone farther back. And Jahangir, who's a capitalist like us, is saying, "I love Samantha." So Jahangir loves Samantha, and he's a capitalist. Samantha, how does it feel like to be loved by capitalists? I'm kidding. Okay, don't get upset. Okay, all right. And Jahangir with another super chat saying you need to set a higher goal for super chat goal. Put it to 50. I mean, I put it at to 10 because we want to see the confetti. Like people want to see the confetti. I don't want them to. I don't want to make it too high, and I will be too greedy. People are like, what the hell? Armin's expectations are too high. And then Jahangir with another super chat saying, "Love from Sweden. Love from Sweden. Thank you. Yep, thank you, Jahangir, for another super chat." And then we have Shauna saying Europeans getting free refills till it makes them sick is peak America. Yeah, some people, some Europeans are complaining actually that they're getting so much free food that they can't eat once the meal arrives. They're not used to it. And they're guys. I've been to Europe. They give you water as if it's like a rare commodity or something. Like you order, like the water is not free at restaurant. Like in Germany, you're like there's no free water. Like no, you have to order water, and you buy water, and they bring you the smallest bottles. What the hell is this? Are you like is Europe like dealing with like a drought or something? So it's bizarre. And then we have the last super chat from Jangir with a very generous super chat. Thank you so much. Saying everything has been genius so far, this far. He has to win the midterms, otherwise, Democrats take seats in the House of or something and can cause more resistance. Let him win it. Exactly. That point, I completely agree. Whatever President Trump needs to do in the short term to make sure the Democrats don't completely take over the House and the Senate, even though it's not exactly what we want, that's a priority because whatever shortcomings of President Trump is far, far better than the Democrats. So whatever he needs to do to remove their power, it's in everyone's interest. It's in the Americans' interest, it's in Israelis' interest, and it's in the Iranian people's interest, and it's in the world's interest. So I agree with that.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.